It's the first day of training camp and there's already controversy? We're so back. Grossi Posse Packer Nation. Welcome to another episode of Packcast, a podcast where you don't I do Packers fan, but it sure does help. I'm your host, Tom. It feels legitimately so good to talk about Packers football again. We made it to the first week of training camp. NFL season is almost upon us. Grossi. And today, we're going to talk about a couple of things, but of course, the big breaking news that is coming out of the Green Bay Packers training camp. Goody and, of course, Matt LaFleur spoke this morning to the press, and the big headline is Jordan Love is not practicing. Everybody panic! There's mass chaos on the streets. We don't know what's going to happen. Is he going to get traded? Is he going to get released? Is he going to go to the Cowboys? No, none of these things are going to happen. But let's talk about it, because I think over the next few days, there's going to be some sensationalized headlines. We're already talking about like, oh, Jordan Love's not practicing. I already saw some panic going on social media. So I wanted to talk about it and give my thoughts on where we are with this whole situation. So after watching Goody's press conference and also LaFleur's press conference, Goody came out and said, hey, Jordan Love is not going to be practicing until a new contract is in place. Now, if you're a Packers fan, you've probably been following along this entire saga of this offseason of when is Jordan Love going to get that contract. We saw guys like Trevor Lawrence, of course, getting big deals. And of course, you even saw Jared Goff getting a big deal. And it was only a matter of time before Jordan Love was going to get paid. Now, Jordan Love heading into this season was not scheduled to make a ton of money. And of course, it was expected, especially after the success that he had last year, that he was going to get a pretty large deal. After those other QBs got paid, that price just kept climbing and climbing. And right now, I think it's going to be around $50 to $55 million per year. I also imagine there's going to be a good amount of incentives in there. But the most important thing is he is not going to be practicing. And so folks immediately were like, oh, he's holding out. This is a problem. Why isn't the deal gotten done already? However, this is not a holdout. And that is very, very important here. And Goody made sure to make that clear as well. Instead, Jordan Love did report to camp last week and is participating in everything. He's participating in meetings. He's going to be there on the field. He's just not suiting up. He's not putting on the shorts and he's not going out there and throwing balls. And from a perspective from the team, of course, you want Jordan Love out there. You want this to be done. You want him to get the reps because he is still a young QB. But thinking about it from the player perspective, it also makes sense that on the verge of a contract that is going to get done, the Packers are very motivated to do so. Jordan Love is very motivated to do so. But it really doesn't make sense because if he got injured, knock on all the wood and everything like that, that's just such an unnecessary risk before pen is put to paper. So yes, I understand as fans, there may be some stress. I understand from the team's perspective, it's not great. But for Jordan Love, who's about to get his first big deal in the NFL, we just want to make sure that goes off without a hitch. And for him, hedging his bets, I think it makes a lot of sense. And again, the reason why I'm not sitting here stressing out is because this deal is going to get done. As I said before, the Packers are highly motivated to do so. They're going to give a deal to Jordan Love. Jordan Love wants to play for the Packers. And so I imagine you're going to see this deal done within a week. I would not be surprised if we see it within the next couple of days. I don't think he's going to miss too many practices. I think it puts a little bit more pressure on the Packers to get this deal done. But ultimately, I am not concerned one little bit because Jordan Love is going to be the starting QB for the Packers this season. It does give Clifford and Pratt some reps in camp. So there's at least a little bit of a silver lining there to compete for that backup position. But most importantly, I imagine that this is going to get done very, very quickly. We'll have a new Jordan Love contract to report within the next week or so. And yeah, everything is going to be fine. And it's not like he's not there. It's going to be okay. Before we get out of here, another note. Yesterday, I was touching grass again for some reason. I really got to stop doing that. But Kenny Clark got a major extension, his third contract with the Green Bay Packers, which we'll talk about in a second, but a 3-year, $64 million contract, which is well-earned. Kenny Clark is one of the staples of this Packers defense. He's a veteran. He's a leader. He's been on the team forever because it feels like this guy doesn't age. And at 28 years old, this is still a great deal for a phenomenal player who's been an anchor on that D-line. The guy has been a captain and a leader for so long for the Packers. Not only is he one of the best players on the defense, he's like been the guy on the defensive line for a long, long time. How many times on this channel have we talked about we need to get Kenny Clark help? Here, getting Kenny another contract, a third contract, which Mark Murphy has told me himself is usually reserved for Hall of Famers. Well, here you go. I love this deal. It makes total sense for the Packers, and for a young team, especially with a new defensive coordinator coming in and Jeff Hafley, you're going to want as much consistency as humanly possible. Kenny Clark going to be in Green Bay for at least another 3 years. I love the deal. Yeah, I could not be happier. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. When do you think the Jordan Love contract is going to be done? I'm guessing within a week, and I'm sure I'll be making another video very, very soon about it as soon as pen is put to paper. But let me know what you think. You know, I saw me at TomGrossiComedy.com or at Tom Grossi Comedy. All social media see down below. A big shout and thank you to all the patrons and YouTube members for supporting this channel, and thank you so much for watching. I'm Tom Grossi. We almost made it to football, and as always, go Pack, go. Let's go.